The world of Fortnite is absolutely on the threshold of a massive glow-up, possibly its biggest one ever, as it preps for the jump to Chapter 7 and a legendary mashup with Disney to forge a brand new digital metaverse. This isn't just a regular chapter swap, it's a genuine tectonic shift, a whole new ballgame that's going to fundamentally retool what Fortnite actually is, moving it from just a video game to a full-on comprehensive entertainment hub. The most blazing, undeniable receipts that the strategic Disney-Fortnite merger is already underway is the current mini-season dedicated to The Simpsons. This franchise, which rolled into the Mouse House after the 21st Century Fox buy, proves just how deep Disney is willing to go when integrating their colossal media archive. We're already seeing a whole world, an entire universe like Springfield, with its one-of-a-kind style, characters, and spots being absolutely seamlessly baked into the Fortnite ecosystem. This is way more than just a slick new skin pack. It's a full-fledged temporary overhaul of the map, mechanics, and general vibe. Just by checking out this integration and seeing Disney merge franchises that are outside their core family content wheelhouse, you get a real breath of fresh air and can tell how serious and massive their plans are. If they can integrate The Simpsons with this kind of depth and quality, imagine the tidal wave of content coming our way when they finally open the floodgates to their entire vault. It'll be like hitting the lottery. The current Simpsons mini-season is ending in early December, which means Chapter 7, Season 1 is right around the corner. According to the most trustworthy insiders, we're getting a totally fresh setting, with rumors pointing to a Las Vegas, Nevada theme, a gala party kind of vibe. This could give us a high society feel, sort of like the first season of Chapter 5, and maybe even a continuation of the society organization story, but it could also bring something darker and more mysterious, like nods to Area 51 and aliens, which would be a logical throwback to some classic Fortnite themes. Collaborations always manage to shock and awe us, but the Chapter 7 rumors are sounding truly wild. The loudest, most talked about rumor, besides the Disney stuff and the news that Warner Bros. Is also building some kind of in-game universe in Fortnite, is the possible invasion from the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Insiders are hinting at a potential crossover that could mean skins, wands instead of pickaxes, and naturally, broom gliders. If this rumor turns out to be legit, we might even see map changes like Hogwarts, and possibly the temporary swapping out of some weapons for spells, which would completely flip the script on the game's core mechanics. It's not clear yet if this will be a battle pass or just a store drop, but the potential is enormous. On top of that, leaks are also suggesting a completely out-of-left-field collab with SpongeBob SquarePants. Beyond the new content, Epic Games, of course, isn't forgetting about the modes that already exist. Expect new mechanics tied to LEGO Fortnite, most likely a full map and world integration of LEGO Ninjago. Chapter 7 is basically becoming a kind of launchpad for new mechanics and crossovers, but it's really just the appetizer before Disney's epic main course. You probably remember when Disney announced their $1.5 billion investment in Epic Games. This isn't some quick stock buy or a basic crossover. It's a strategic partnership focused on building a new, permanent open gaming and entertainment universe that will be super tight with Fortnite. Players need to get that this won't just be one more Fortnite season with Disney characters. It'll be a separate, fully functional world that will still interact with Fortnite. Basically, Disney is setting up its metaverse by using Epic Games' tech foundation and its massive user base. The whole point of this partnership is to create a single, integrated ecosystem where fans can play, watch, shop, and hang out with content and characters from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and other franchises. Epic Games is saying you can get into this ecosystem through both the Disney front door and the Fortnite front door, stressing the mutual integration. This whole project is often nicknamed Digital Disneyland. The gameplay experience in this new world will be all about getting to craft your own stories and adventures, letting fans show their love for Disney franchises in a unique way. Plus, we can expect features for viewing Disney content, like movies and series, right inside this platform. Even more exciting is the chance to buy real-life Disney merch through this digital platform. Disney has also hinted at interactivity with their actual theme parks, where Actions players take in the digital world might score them bonuses or opportunities at a real Disneyland. The key word here is interoperability, cross-compatibility. But it's important to note that this will be a safer, more moderated environment. Don't hold your breath for every Fortnite skin to work in the Disney world, and Mickey Mouse probably won't be running around blasting loopers with a pump and dump in Battle Royale. This project is Disney's savvy, strategic answer to the metaverse concept, utilizing Fortnite's ready-made huge audience and cutting-edge technology. Chapter 7. And the Disney metaverse are not just another couple of content drops. They are rock-solid proof that Fortnite has officially transformed from a simple game into a full-blown platform. Epic Games is crushing it, turning the game into a sort of operating system for entertainment, where Battle Royale, Lego Fortnite, and now the Disney World are simply separate apps available to the user. Chapter 7 will act as the crucial bridge, offering loopers exciting new collabs like Harry Potter, a refreshed map, and maybe new mechanics that will test if the community is ready for even bigger changes. Meanwhile, behind the curtain, a whole digital universe from Disney is getting set for its full launch, expected sometime around 2026. This merger is showing off Epic Games' gigantic ambition to create one single open digital ecosystem where your favorite worlds don't just bump into each other, they live and grow together. The future of Fortnite looks incredibly jam-packed. Whether that's awesome or a total headache is up to you to decide. But considering the rough waters at the end of Chapter 6, let's all keep our fingers crossed that this moves things in the right direction and isn't a repeat of the drama that went down this past summer. Too long ago, the entire Fortnite community went into meltdown. Out of nowhere, map clones from Roblox shot straight into the top recommendations. Epic pushed it hard, players went nuclear, and the debate exploded. But this isn't just some random scandal, it's a symptom. A symptom that Fortnite might have lost its direction. First, we gotta figure out what UFN even is and where it came from. Unreal Editor for Fortnite replaced the old creative mode, which at that point had already burned itself out. This wasn't just an upgrade. UFN gave creators the keys to the kingdom. Instead of just building maps, they could now build entire games inside Fortnite, powered by Unreal Engine 5. And don't think this was some minor patch. Creators suddenly had access to advanced graphics, new materials, scripting logic, custom animations, the works. Officially, UFN came into play after the final event of Chapter 4, when Jones launched the rocket with the time machine into the 0 point. That explosion shattered reality into trillions of fragments. Each fragment became its own world, either built by Epic themselves or by the players. In short, Fortnite turned into a full-blown metaverse. Sounds massive, right? Sure. But here's the problem. In chasing trends, Epic stripped away the one thing that made Fortnite special, the unified atmosphere of the original game. Instead, we got a giant sandbox. Hundreds of maps, many of them feeling the same, most of them built just to squeeze the monetization system. The original vision for UFN was ambitious though, a space where everyone could find something they liked. Minigames, quests, shooters, full-on RPGs. Basically, Epic stepped directly onto Roblox's turf, and at the time, Roblox was riding its peak wave of popularity. But to compete with a platform like Roblox, flashy tools aren't enough. You need a strong incentive for creators, and that is where money steps in. Big money. To keep it simple, the formula is this. The more players visit your map, and the longer they stay, the more cash you make. Other factors also play a role, like audience retention, how many people add your map to favorites, and so on. But the main number that decides everything is online activity. The higher it is, the bigger the payout. Some creators are already pulling in six-figure checks. According to Epic's official stats, 7 creators made over $10 million, 14 made over $3 million, and 37 made more than $1 million. Not bad for a free editor, right? And get this, a creator named Panville pulled around $20 million in a single year just from his box fight maps. Funny thing is, in the early days, Epic acted like true guardians of quality. They promised heavy moderation on UFN, so players wouldn't drown in trash content. They banned misleading thumbnails, cracked down on cheap copycats, and pushed the message that Fortnite should stay a space for creativity, not just cash grabs. But then, in an interview, Epic rep Dan Walsh casually admitted they had no real way of stopping the flood of low-effort maps. That basically killed the narrative of, "We're protecting the players." Even so, some creators are still using UFN to its full potential, building with ambition and craft. The problem is, recommendations rarely reward them. Instead, they boost the most generic 5-minute islands that rake in clicks. Why does that happen? The answer is simple: money. It looks like the more maps there are, even the most low-effort ones, the better the engagement numbers. And engagement means retention, stats, advertisers, and all that corporate jazz. The result? Instead of a unique sandbox where creators poured their soul into building worlds, we got a half-baked Roblox knockoff stuffed with cheap copy-paste content. And here's the irony. Epic is now playing by the same rules they swore to fight against in the beginning. Which brings us to the real reason this whole video exists. On August 30th, a map called Steal the Brainrot suddenly shot into the top recommendations. And at first glance, it could have gone unnoticed. But then Epic launched a full-on promo campaign for it, blasting it across X, Instagram, and more. That alone raised eyebrows. But the real kicker, they featured it in Fortnite's own news tab, even giving it a giant banner in the main section. The kind of spotlight usually reserved for big-time events. Not even the item shop gets that kind of love. Unfair doesn't even begin to cover it, but Epic went further. They pushed mobile notifications directly to players, promoting updates to this brain roadmap. That was the breaking point. Even the most die-hard defenders of UFN and the metaverse started losing it. Comments under Epic's posts turned into a full-blown cancel campaign. People who defended Epic at every turn suddenly flipped sides. And yet, the map peaked at over 400,000 active players. Let that sink in. That's more than Epic's own top modes combined. On paper, you might say fine, it's just another weird map, let it be. But here's the thing, Steal the Brainrot isn't even an original Fortnite creation. It is literally a copy of a Roblox map that's been pulling insane numbers, hitting up to 20 million players. So now we're stuck with this picture. Epic is promoting a mediocre map that was ripped from another game. And the fallout? Not only are Fortnite players roasting Epic, now even Roblox fans are clowning them, pointing out that Fortnite is chasing their content. The irony is brutal. Back in the day, Fortnite was the game that set the trends. Other titles copied its mechanics, its style, its ideas. Now Fortnite is out here promoting a copy-paste hype map from Roblox, not even trying to improve it or give it a unique twist. Think about that. A game with billion-dollar budgets is taking inspiration from projects made by teenagers after school. And here's the real damage. Moves like this instantly kill trust in Fortnite, and especially in UFN. Remember how they sold it to us? A platform for unique projects, a breeding ground for the next generation of game dev. That was the dream. But the reality? Instead of innovation, Epic basically legalized endless copy-paste. And it doesn't stop there. The hype around Steal the Brainrot completely wrecked Fortnite's recommendations tab. Dozens, if not hundreds of knockoff Brainrot clones started flooding the system. Now every player who just wants to take a break from Epic's official modes and try something fresh gets buried under waves of recycled trash. Naturally, after seeing this, most people want nothing to do with UFN. But let's circle back to the fact that Epic themselves pushed Brainrot so hard. Some of you might say fine, they promoted it, who cares? Don't like it, don't play it. Fair. But here's the issue. When the same type of map keeps showing up in recommendations, the community reads that as Epic's official stance. Not, we gave creators freedom, but we are actively driving traffic here. And that's where the real question hits. Where does this leave the long-standing modes like Battle Royale or Zero Build? The ones people return to for months at a time. Without curation, the recommendations turned into a junk fair. A dopamine casino that rewards quick clicks over lasting gameplay. And sure, we all know why they multiply. Quick asset flips, copy-paste economies, ready-made code guides. Easy to mass produce, easy to reskin. But altogether it feels like a conveyor belt. Add on top official promo blasting straight into the game and socials, and players see it as turbo promotion for mediocrity. Micro trends flare up, spike in players, ride the hype, and vanish overnight. On paper, the numbers look fine, but there's no depth. A new player logs in, and instead of wow moments or big events, they're hit with yet another clickbait grind map. And little by little, the Fortnite brand itself starts to dissolve into this flood of tycoons, recycled brainrots, and endless clones. Now let's be clear, Steal the Brainrot isn't the villain here. It's a symptom. The real issue isn't that the map exists, it's what Epic chooses to spotlight, how they push it with social posts, and even mobile notifications. That's why August 30th blew up the community. Players felt like Epic shifted its priorities away from the core of Fortnite and onto hype-chasing maps, no matter how questionable the content. Alright, so the criticism is loud and clear, but what's the fix? First, we need to nail down the principle. Discovery, recommendations, whatever you call it, is Epic's manifesto. It's not random, it needs curation. Discovery should be treated like an editorial pick, not a slot machine. That's where you highlight maps with actual craft, strong co-op design, quest depth, unique style. And here's the move. Add a quality tag, so players instantly know they're about to play something special. For maps that experiment with mechanics, visuals, narrative, add an originality tag. This kind of anti-clone filter would add transparency and clean out the endless spam. The clickbait clickers, tycoons, and grindfests can stay, sure, but they need their own shelf, not the top spots where the best maps should shine. Second, Epic needs to create something like a trust ranking. A simple trust signal for players and even for parents would already change the game. Imagine something like an ABC rating system that marks how aggressive a map's loops are. That way you're not banning genres, you're just being transparent. Players can instantly decide if they want in or not. And I know someone's going to say, but people love tycoons and clickbaits. Sure, let them have it. I'm not saying close the genre. The point is balance. Fortnite always had a face. The cartoon style, the massive cinematic live events, the insane collabs. But when the front page turns into an endless conveyor of the same low-quality grind maps, that face starts to blur. We don't want a Fortnite people log into because a timer ticked. We want a Fortnite that pulls us back because something epic is about to happen. The way OGs logged in just to watch Kevin flip, or the way the whole community Some said relax. It's just posts and banners. And yeah, even that is a position. But when day after day, it feels like the main spotlight rewards short retention spikes instead of substance and quality, and then Epic pushes that even harder with promo, that's where the frustration sets in. And the fix is simple. Epic needs to set the rules of the game in public. Tell us what gets promoted and why. They could even go further and launch a creator lab with micro grants and economy reviews, so authors are motivated to improve design itself, not just thumbnails and clickbait. I'm not against creators or Epic making money. I'm all for it. What I want is honesty on the front page. Because here's what happens. A player opens Fortnite, checks Discovery, and instantly reads Epic's position. If there's a quality tag, they know it's something polished. If there's an originality tag, they know it's trying something new. No bans, no drama. Just transparency and taste. And taste, that is exactly what separates a real platform from a random junkyard. So here's the big question for you, the viewers. For all of us as a community, what kind of modes do you want to see on the front page? The ones built to feed timers? Or the ones that give you chills so strong you can't wait to share them? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep it clear, keep it sharp, and give examples. Maybe instead of trust ratings and tags, you have your own idea to fix big lasting ideas, not cheap flashes that burn out in a week. Right now, Epic looks lost. Fortnite is sliding into being a Roblox clone. Its recommendations stuffed with copy-paste maps where the official content should be. Was that short-lived hype worth the reputation hit? I think the answer is obvious, especially when Epic is pouring massive budgets into supporting these cloned maps and their creators. They are literally paying to fill the platform with recycled content, instead of putting that money where it matters. Building original Fortnite modes, running huge live events, updating the map, adding new mechanics, the stuff that made this game legendary. But instead, the resources are going into the void, fueling hype that dies in a couple of weeks. The latest community scandal was a warning shot. Either Fortnite becomes the home of big ideas again, or it turns into a feeding trough for empty clones with screaming titles and zero creativity. The choice is on Epic, but the voice is on us. I've already grabbed my popcorn, and I'll be watching it all burn from the front row. If you want the best seats too, hit that subscribe, smash that like button, and have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. Take care.